Will, I think I'm right in saying that you co-authored a letter in 2018 to OceanGate, who operate Titan, and you said that you collectively had unanimous concern about the way it had been developed. Tell us why you had those concerns.
Well, David, just say so sorry. We are, we're all very troubled by this. The the loss of these people. Right, they were friends. I mean, we all know each other. So this is very sad. This is very sad. Yeah, you're right. The numbers have to add up. Father Neptune has absolutely no patience for humanity. If we get it wrong, we get it wrong, and we pay the price. Which is, if we play in this game, we absolutely have to be sure of ourselves. And what does it mean? Well, we know over 50 years we figured out a system to do that. I mean, we say we have rules and regulations. Well, they come from somewhere. They come because of mistakes, because of things we have learned. And we embody that in a process that we call the process of certification. And it's really unforgiving to when we get it wrong. And it is a team effort. And we look at it that the submitting it to third-party review on a new design, we're doing ourselves a favor, and we're following the North Star in our industry. That's how humanity has figured out to go down to the bottom of the ocean. And we do go to 6,000 meters, 7,000 meters. But,
Will, what was it?
Being bold, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wondered, what specifically was it about the Submersible, the Titan, that worried you? Was it construction or safety features? What was it?
Like David was saying, it is a novel concept. It is very different. It is very large. It is for 5 people to go to 4,000 meters. It needs space, and that adds a lot of complexity and something that nobody's done. I mean, nobody has made a 5-person submersible going 4,000 meters. Most of the submarines, there's 10 submarines, like I've said, that will go 4,000 meters or deeper in the world. They are all certified, and they tend to be 3 people, a pilot with 2 occupants for research. To do 5 passengers, it does push the envelope, and you've got to do the numbers right. OceanGate was taking a strategy of, well, we intentionally break the rules because we can do it better and faster. And it's the age-old issue, even as a parent. When we all know the system as a parent. If with the best advice you part on to your teenagers and they do something that really gets them in trouble, despite the best advice you give them and sincere advice, unheeded, it leaves everybody in a real tough position. So in general, what the concern for all the experts in the world is, please don't short circuit this process. This is really, for a new novel design, it really is a guiding light, and we should trust it.
What was OceanGate's response, Will, to your letter? This is a letter signed by 30-odd people. What was the response from Stockton Rush?
Well, it is, Stockton was quite open about it. It's like, no, we, every industry is pulled by the same tensions, right, between the regulators and the innovators. It's not limited to submarines. To the regulators, you've got to be super careful. To the innovators, it's just being too slow. And this is why I chair the committee. I've been there for 20 years and try and bring everybody together to find that fine dance of a balance between the two. And and Stockton's response as well, I know, but we are confident and we can do it better, and it can be faster. And the regulators are holding us back. They are stifling innovation. And, and our approach was, well, look, we invite new people. It's good to be bold, but the difference between being bold young and bold old, if we call ourselves old, is the injection of wisdom and a bit of patience and listening to people. And at the moment, it leaves us in a very tragic situation of, because it draws many other people in, right? All of us in this technical field are sincerely driven by a deep duty of care. We can't explain all the technical things we pay attention to in the middle of the night. It is just our responsibility, and we do have a duty of care, and we've got to carry that forward. And it is difficult, and unfortunately, that takes time. It takes time. And,
can I ask you? Sorry to interrupt you, Will. Can I ask you? Do you know whether it was ever formally certified by a risk assessment company or a third party? Do you know that?
It was not. There was much language. One of the issues in the letter we had with OceanGate is that they clear up the language on their website that makes it clear to the public that they were not certified. And they did that quite clearly in the last few years to make sure that the public knew that it was experimental, meaning that it was not certified. They have had, I know quite well, they have had and require and asked for quotations. What would it take to get it certified? But then decided not to pursue that.
So this is, it seems to me, and David's here as well, David, that this seems an unregulated world. It's a small world, this wreck exploration, clearly, but is it also an unregulated one?
Pretty much. In terms of these prototypes, they're so small. There's not one overriding international body or set of rules that, unless I can be corrected, like in the maritime world, is the International Maritime Organization, and to get a ship classified and to have insurance and all of those things, there's a system in place that goes all around the world, and you can't hire a ship unless it's been through that. But in this very small niche industry that operates in international waters, there isn't this thing, and this is what I think probably, is what now we have to be talking about. And I feel my industry needs to take a reflective look at itself inwardly about the design and operation of these submersibles, about whether we should be taking passengers down to these depths in such remote locations, and then also in terms of the response. There's never been a playbook for finding and recovering and rescuing a stricken submersible on a location like this. And now what you've seen over the past...
I'd like to respond to that.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Will, come in, yeah.
Yeah, no, look, yes, there are significant regulations. You could not operate this submersible in U.S. waters or Canadian waters. The Coast Guard would not let you. You'd have
international
to be certified.
Waters.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There are very few places where people actually regularly go and do expeditions in international waters. This happened to be, call it a loophole, that first of all, if there are no laws that require you to certify a submersible if you make it for yourself. So in this case, OceanGate was not producing a production or a commercial vehicle. They had the choice of not certifying it. If they wanted to operate commercially, they would have to, except if you find the place on the planet where you are international waters, which happens to be the Titanic.
Yeah.
Sure, it demands some questions on it, but you're talking a less than 5% of the global place where people actually do tourism and go underwater where there's something to see.
That's a good point, Will. Can I just, sorry to interrupt you again, but I just want to, because David makes a point that you have made similarly, which is that this incident could well lead to changes in the way these submersibles operate and the regulations surrounding these submersibles. Do you both agree on that?
Oh, yeah.
That something has got to change?
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, not
That's
to,
what our committee's been working for.
yeah, not to have a debate here, but the majority of the oceans are in international waters, outside the realm of anything else. 200 nautical miles outside any country, you're in international waters. The majority of shipwrecks I have found in my career that people would like to see, Bismarck, Titanic, the Hood, the Sydney, they're all international waters. And the geological formations that people like to go see, these spreading centers, black smokers, all international waters. And that's the places that these tourist submersibles have been going. So while there is this regulation, you know, and this is not my world in terms of these manned submersibles, if there's a loophole, it's a very, very big one.
Yeah. And Will, I should just say that what has happened, and that is a statement from the US Coast Guard that says that a debris field has been found near the Titanic as rescuers search for the missing submersible, and they say that it was found by an underwater vessel, and they, as I say, described it as a debris field. And so, Will, I just wanted to bring it back to, you know, the here and now. And do you, clearly you do, you fear the worst with this news from the Coast Guard?
Well, this is very difficult news. If the Coast Guard calls it debris field, I mean, they do not use the words lightly. We'll have to see the final evaluation, but like David was mentioning, it was very concerning at the very beginning that they had lost 3 different forms of communication all at once at the beginning. And that was kind of puzzling. I don't know, it's difficult to hear, but we might have to accept it.